Today we're answering a very important question. Is Budapest the most underrated European capital? I'll leave you to answer that question by the end of this video, after I go through some of the top places to visit in this city, with some background on the history and culture. One thing I can tell you is that you will probably have the best bath of your life here. And here's why: Stephens Baths. Now, Budapest is famous for its thermal baths, and Stephens Baths? Well, that's the crown jewel. The city's got around 120 hot springs, and this place is the cream of the crop. Trust me, this is a must-do when you're in town. And when you walk in, it's like stepping into a thermal paradise, seriously. The atmosphere is out of this world. You've got these gorgeous canary yellow arches and steam rising from outdoor pools. It's like something out of a dream. And once you're inside, oh boy, it's total bliss. Think ceramics, marble, and mosaics everywhere, making you feel like royalty in a spa palace. But why are thermal baths such a big deal here? Well, it all goes back centuries, way back to Roman times, actually. See, Budapest sits right on top of a bunch of natural hot springs, so thermal bathing isn't just a leisure activity, it's a part of the city's history and culture. These baths aren't just about soaking in mineral-rich waters for their healing properties. They're social hubs where people come to relax, hang out, and soak up the architectural beauty. It's like stepping into a piece of living history. So in a nutshell, Stephens Baths are all about the perfect mix of relaxation, history, and culture. It's no wonder both locals and tourists alike can't get enough of this place. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this incredible experience when you're in Budapest. It's like stepping into a piece of living history. St. Stephens Basilica. This is one of the most photographed attractions in the city. What's fascinating is that it's not actually a basilica. Shocking, right? Despite everyone calling it that since it was built in 1851, it's more like a Greek cross in shape. But don't let that fool you, because this place is huge. It's the biggest church in all of Hungary, with enough room for over 8,500 people. And it's right up there with the Parliament building as one of the tallest structures in Budapest, standing proud and tall. Now, let's talk about that bell tower. They didn't hold back, let me tell you. St. Stephens Basilica boasts the biggest bell in all of Hungary, weighing a whopping 9 tons of iron. And if you think that's impressive, the previous bell weighed in at 8 tons before they melted it down during World War II. Inside the cathedral, you'll find something a bit eerie yet fascinating: the mummified hand of St. Stephen himself. Yeah, it's a bit gory, but he was the first king of Hungary, so his ancient limb is kind of a big deal. Now, here's a fun fact. Did you know Madonna, yes, the Queen of Pop, filmed her movie wedding scene here in 1996? Yep, this cathedral was the backdrop for her film Evita, and if you're visiting around Christmas time, you're in for a treat. The St. Stephens Basilica Christmas Market is a sight to behold, with all the festive goodies you could imagine. From hot wine to gingerbread biscuits, it's like stepping into a holiday wonderland right under the bell tower. But this place isn't just for sightseeing. The acoustics here are absolutely top-notch, making it the perfect spot for concerts. You can catch some incredible performances of sacred music or organ recitals featuring the likes of Vivaldi, Bach, and Mozart. Just make sure to bundle up if you're visiting in winter. It gets chilly. And if you're looking to meet some locals, hang out at one of the cafes or bars around the basilica. It's a popular spot for young people in Budapest, so you might just make some new friends. Central Market Hall. This place isn't your run-of-the-mill market. It's like stepping into a foodie wonderland inside an architectural gem. Here you can find vibrant yellow and green tiles, steel beams soaring overhead, and a bustling food court filled with all kinds of delicious treats. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of what's inside, let's talk a bit about the history. Situated next to the Danube River, the Market Hall has been a cornerstone of Budapest for ages. Back in the day, this area was bustling with warehouses and customs offices, making it a hub for trade and commerce. Fast forward to the late 1800s, when Budapest was booming and in need of a major upgrade to its food supply. The powers that be decided it was high time for some proper market halls, and so the Central Market Hall was born. Designed by architect Samu Pech, this magnificent structure was meant to be the crown jewel of Budapest, a symbol of progress and modernity. But like any good story, there were a few bumps along the way. Just days before its grand opening in 1896, disaster struck. The roof caught fire and had to be rebuilt from scratch. But undeterred, they pushed forward and finally opened the doors to the public in 1897, with thousands flocking to see this marvel of modern engineering. Over the years, the Central Market Hall has seen its fair share of ups and downs, from bombings during World War II to neglect in the post-war years. But through it all, it has stood strong, undergoing renovations every few decades to keep its original glory intact. Nowadays, the Market Hall is a must-see for any visitor to Budapest. With its neo-Gothic architecture and colorful Zolnay tiling, it's like stepping into a cathedral of food. The ground floor is a feast for the senses, with stalls selling everything from fresh produce to meats, pastries, candies, and spices. And don't even get me started on the second mezzanine floor, where you'll find eateries serving up mouth-watering Hungarian delicacies. But the market hall isn't just about food, it's also a hub of culture and tradition. Down in the basement, you'll find the Hungaricum Street, a showcase of authentic Hungarian products and goods. From paprika spices to Tokaji wine to traditional salamis and sausages, it's a treasure trove of Hungarian heritage. Margaret Island. This is Budapest's hidden gem. Tucked away in the Danube River, Margaret Island, or as the locals call it, Margitsziget, has a fascinating history that dates back centuries. Once upon a time, Margaret Island was known as Rabbit Island, a royal hunting ground where Hungarian kings would chase after game. But its story took a turn when King Bela promised to send his daughter, Margaret, to a convent on the island if he could reclaim Hungary from Mongol invaders. Spoiler alert, he did, and true to his word, Margaret became a nun and later a saint, giving the island its current name. Today, Margaret Island is a beloved retreat for Budapest locals, a green oasis in the heart of the city. Connected to the mainland by Margaret Bridge, it's the perfect spot for a leisurely afternoon stroll, a bike ride, or even a game of golf. And if you're not up for walking, don't worry. Bus number 26 runs the length of the island, and there are plenty of other ways to get around, from bicycles to funny egg-shaped cars. But Margaret Island isn't just about outdoor fun. It's also home to some interesting attractions, like the beautiful water tower built in Art Nouveau style back in 1911. You can climb to the top for a bird's-eye view of the island and the city beyond, or check out the Palatinus Strand Baths, where you can soak in thermal pools, ride water slides, or just relax in the famous wave pool. If you're in the mood for some history, take a stroll through the island's ruins, from the Franciscan monastery to the Dominican convent. And if you're feeling fancy, why not spend the night at Hotel and Sauna Thermal Margaret Island, a luxury spa hotel where you can pamper yourself with medicinal water treatments and beauty services? Of course, no visit to Margaret Island would be complete without sampling some of its delicious food. Whether you're craving traditional Hungarian langos or a gourmet meal at Széchenyi restaurant, there's something for every palate. And for a truly unique dining experience, head to Hippie Island, an open-air pub and cafe with a laid-back vibe and eclectic menu. And finally, don't miss the chance to catch the musical fountain in action. Renovated in 2013, this colorful fountain comes to life with music 5 times a day, offering a magical experience for visitors of all ages. And if you're up for a night of dancing, head to Zeep, an open-air beach club where you can dance the night away under the stars. Budapest is filled with history and culture, which you can see from many of its attractions. But more than that, it has something to offer everyone, from an incredible nightlife to relaxing self-care to beautiful art, music, and architecture. And to top it all off, Budapest is a more affordable city to visit than most other European capitals like London. So, do you think Budapest is the most underrated European capital? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate if you like and subscribe for more travel inspiration and tips.